Okay, welcome back students. So yeah, here when we are extending our derived class from an already existing base class, what data members and what member functions we can inherit from the base class to derived class, that we already discussed. We said only the private members, they are restricted. Rest of them like public and protected, we can inherit from the base class to derived class. And after inheriting the base class members into the derived class, their access specifier is dependent on the mode of inheritance. And based on that mode of inheritance, our data members will get their own access, their new access modifiers into the derived class, that we have seen in our previous video. Over here, what entities or what members we can inherit from the base class to the derived class, that we will see. I mean, what members we can't inherit, we can't inherit from the base class to derived class, that we will see over here. So simply whatever constructors, whatever destructors definitions you are writing into the base class, we cannot inherit into the derived class, because as you might have seen, whenever we are writing the definitions for constructors or destructors, their name must be same like the class name. So if you inherit them into the derived class, over there what will happen? A naming conflict will occur. A naming conflict will occur because the base class constructor will have the name like base class, and you are inheriting into the derived class where the name of the derived class is different, isn't it? A naming conflict will occur. That is the reason why it is not possible to inherit the constructors and destructors and copy constructors, parameterized constructors, all those things from the base class to the derived class. Clear? So the next thing, the overloaded stuff, whatever overloaded stuff you are declaring into the base class, that you cannot inherit into the derived class. Okay, that overloaded operators we cannot inherit from the base class to the derived class. And the friend functions, okay, before this class we discussed about friend functions. So whatever friend functions you are having into the base class, whatever friend function implementations you are having, declarations you are having into the base class, they will not inherit into the derived class. They will not inherit into the derived class. These three things you have to remember, that we can't inherit from the base class into the derived class. The first one, constructors and destructors, then the overloaded operators, and then the friend functions. These three things we cannot inherit from the base class to the derived class. Okay, we'll go to the next slide and we will see. Yeah, the overloaded operators, we said we can't inherit. Then the modes of inheritance, we have seen public mode, protected mode, and a private mode. Then we have inheritance types, C++ inheritance types. We have 5 types of inheritances in C++. We have 5 types of inheritances in C++. That is single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, multiple inheritance, and hierarchical and hybrid inheritance. These 5 types in detail we will discuss one by one. Okay, so if you go to the single inheritance, the concept is very simple. I have shown you with the help of a graphical representation as well. When you have a single base class and from that you are deriving a single derived class. So this type of inheritance we call it as single inheritance. Okay, it is very simple form of your inheritance. Only one base class, only one derived class, and in between you have the relationship of inheritance. In between you have the relationship of inheritance. So this kind of inheritance we call it as single inheritance. Okay, then the next thing we have multi-level. Okay, so here a 3 level, you can see multi-level in the sense not only 3, you can have more numbers as well. There is no limitation that you have to stop your inheritance at that point. You can have any number of what call inheritances, levels of inheritances like this. Okay, A to B, B to C, C to D. Likewise, you can have up to your wish, we can say. There is no limit on that one. So here I have shown up to 3 classes only. From A I have derived B, and from B I have derived C. So this phenomenon we have to discuss a bit detail. So let us assume I have a class A. So as I have shown over there, I have class A. So then here I have public int A, then protected int B, then private int C. Okay, 3 data members I have. Then what I am doing? I am declaring my class B, which I have to inherit from class A. The mode of inheritance, it is not shown over there. So we will consider different modes over there, and we will see how it will affect the C class. Okay, so let us assume the mode of inheritance as public in my first case. So class B I am inheriting from A in public mode. In public mode. So now here what will happen? Yeah, I am declaring its own member data members over here. So let us say public data member, I am declaring int P, then private protected, I am declaring, okay, protected int Q, then private I am declaring private int R. I am not taking any constructors, destructors and other member functions over here, because the space is a limitation over here. If I put all that stuff, you will get confused as well. So simply assume that we have the suitable constructors to initialize these data members and suitable member functions in order to access these data members. Clear? So right now PQR, I have closed this. Then I am declaring my C class. So int, class C, I am declaring my class C, class C, okay, inheritance operator, and I am declaring this class also in public mode, public C, public B. From this B I am declaring public B. Here in turn I have the data members like public int X, public protected int Y, and then private int Z. So like this I have closed this class as well. So right now, yes, we will see from here to here, from A to B, what data members we will get. That I am writing after this line, okay, this side of this line. So what data members I will inherit? My mode of inheritance is public. So I will inherit all the public and public and protected members from base class to the derived class, and their mode of inheritance, their access specifier, it will not change. So I am inheriting A, int A. My mode of inheritance is public. So whatever access modifier I have for A into the base class, it will remain same into the derived class. So right now my access modifier will be public. Cool. Next B, I am inheriting into the derived class. So B I am inheriting, and its access modifier, it is protected. So it will remain as it is, protected. Okay. Next thing, I cannot inherit that C because it is protected, private. So next thing, over here into the C class, what data members I will inherit? What data members of C class I will inherit? B class I will inherit. So in B I have PQR, as well as we have to consider this AB also, because B class it got from A class. So right now into C class, what data members I will get from B class? So yeah, this P I will get because it is public, and here my mode of inheritance is public. So whatever access modifier P is having into the base class, it will remain same into the derived class. So P int P, as it is public in B class, it will remain public only over here, public. Okay, so this A, it is also public in base class, and this will remain as it is, public only over here, int A. So next thing, protected Okay, so this this Q from base class B, this Q we will get into the derived class C. Next, this B also, int B. Yeah, can we get this R over here? No, we will not get, because it is private. We cannot get this R as well as we cannot get this C into this C class. Clear? So next, if I change the mode of inheritance of B class to protected, then what will happen? Yeah, if I change the mode of inheritance of B class to protected, what will happen? Here I am changing it as protected. Then what data members I will inherit over here? Okay, can I inherit A? Yes, I can, because it is public. So now after inheriting, what it will become? It will become protected only, because now my mode of inheritance is protected. So all my inherited member, they will gain their access modifier as protected only. So B and A, they both will get the protected. So if I change here also protected, for C class modifier mode of inheritance, if I change it to protected, then what will happen? Here also same thing, no public concept now. All my data members which I have inherited from A and from from B, all my data members will become protected. So here I will get protected. Under it I will get AB, and from here PQ. All will become protected. Like how they become protected over here. Here protected int B. So right now like this it will happen. Suppose if I change the B class access modifier to private, then what will happen? Private. Then what will happen? Yes, I will inherit A and B into my B class, and their access modifier will become private, because my mode of inheritance is private. So now A, B, they got inherited from A class into B class, and their access modifier is private now. The reason is my mode of inheritance is private. So if I inherit my C class in private mode into C class, if I inherit B class, then what will happen? How my access modifiers will change, and what data members I can access. Can I access this? Yeah, right now when we are inheriting C class from B class, we have to consider only the B class. Already we discussed this thing, extending or inheriting B class from A class. We already in private mode we discussed. Right now what I am doing, I am inheriting my C class from B class in private mode. That we have to discuss. So can I inherit this P? Yes, because it is public, I can inherit this P. And what will be the access modifier after inheriting? It will be private, because my mode of inheritance is private. So private colon, this P will come over here, int P. So can I inherit this protected Q? Yes. And after inheriting, it will become private only. So int Q. Yeah. After this, can I inherit this R? No, it is not possible, because it is private. Likewise, can I inherit this A and B into the derived class C? No, it is not possible. Even though they got inherited from A to B, right now after inheriting, their access modifier is private. Their access modifier is private. That is the reason why I cannot inherit this A and B into my derived class C when my access modifier is private. When my mode of inheritance is private. That difference you have to understand. This kind of derivation, we call it as multi-level inheritance. Multi-level inheritance. And I told you there is no limitation that you can have only this number of levels into your multi-level inheritance. It is dependent on your patience. You can have A to B, B to C, C to D. Likewise, you can have n number of classes inherited from each other. Clear? So the next type of inheritance, that is multiple inheritance. It is very simple. Yeah, ma'am, please can you just change this slide? Yeah, multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance, what we are doing? We are deriving a single class from more than one classes. We are deriving a single class from more than one classes. Again, when you are doing so, you have to remember this mode of inheritance as well as mode of inheritance as well as how the access modifiers of the derived members will change from base class to derived class. As you might understood, they are completely dependent on your mode of inheritance. Mode of inheritance plays a vital role in inheritance concept, because based on that only our access modifiers, they are changing from base class to derived class based on mode of inheritance only. So our next concept is multiple inheritance, deriving a single class from more than one classes. So as you can see the graphical representation over here. Okay, I have class A, I have class B, I have class C, and from these three classes I am deriving class D. And if the mode of inheritance of D class is public, yeah, whatever data members you are deriving from these A, B, C into D, their access modifiers will not change. If your mode of inheritance is protected, whatever data members you are deriving from A, B, C into D, their access modifier will become protected because your mode of inheritance is protected. Lastly, if you derive this D in private mode, then what will happen? All your data members will become private. Not only like this, you have the flexibility of inheriting A's data member in private, inheriting B's data member in protected, inheriting C's data members in private. Okay, likewise you have the flexibility. You can inherit individual classes in individual mode of inheritances. So quickly you see, so let us assume that ABC we have already defined. ABC we have already defined. Now I am defining that D. So my class D, I want to inherit, okay, A class data members in public mode, B class data members in protected, and C class data members in private mode. In that way I want to inherit. So quickly see the syntax, how you have to write in multiple inheritance. So write class, my class name is D. Okay, class name is D. Then what I am doing, I want to inherit. Okay, so quickly put the inheritance operator. Whenever you want to inherit, put the inheritance operator. Then I want to inherit A class data members in public mode. So write that one, public A. So I want to inherit B class data members in protected. So separate that declaration. Separate that B class declaration over here with a comma. Put a comma in between, and then you put protected, I told you B class. So next thing, put another comma and write private C. That's it, private C, and here you write the definition for your D class. Here you write the definition for your D class. So right now what will happen? Whatever data members you have inside this A class, their access modifiers will not change because you are inheriting A's data members in public mode, public inheritance mode. So then B class data members, they will become protected into D class because the mode of inheritance you are inheriting from B class is protected. Finally, C class data members, they will become private into your D class because their mode of inheritance is private. So likewise you have to remember, this is multiple inheritance. This is something multiple inheritance, deriving a single class from more than one class. Clear? We have seen, yeah, just go to the next slide. Yeah, then the hierarchical is quite opposite to your multiple. Previously we said in multiple what we are doing, a single class we are deriving from multiple classes. But in hierarchical what we will do, we will derive multiple classes from a single class. We will derive multiple classes from a single class. So over here hierarchical, as you can see, we have only one parent class, that is A, and from that A I am deriving B, C, D, three classes. From a single base class I am deriving three derived classes, B, C, D. So this kind of implementation we call it as hierarchical implementation. One single base class, multiple derived classes. One single base class, multiple derived classes, we call this kind of implementation as hierarchical classes. It is very simple. Let us assume A is already declared, A is already defined. So next what we will do? Yeah, in order to implement, in order to define that B, class B, use the inheritance operator and whatever mode you want to take, public, private, according to your need, you have to take A. So this is A's definition, B's definition. Next, if you want to do the C's definition, class C colon public A. Again, we have to use A only, because from A only we are deriving B and C. Again, here you put the definition of C class, then class D colon, again we are deriving in public mode only, public A, like this. Yeah, this mode of inheritance, it is up to your wish. Under what mode you want to inherit the properties of base class, it is of your wish. If you want to inherit in public, you can. If you want to inherit in protected, you can. Likewise. So this is the syntax of hierarchical inheritance. Lastly, the hybrid inheritance. Hybrid means combination of any two. Yeah, before this we discussed four different types. Ma'am, can you just go to the previous slides? Types of inheritance. Still previous. Yeah, this one. See here, the last type is hierarchical inheritance. If you merge any of these two, minimum is 2, you have to select 2. Any of these two, yeah, that type of inheritance we call it as hybrid inheritance. That type of inheritance we call it as hybrid inheritance. So merging any two, means, so let us assume this is your class A and I am deriving class B. Okay, this is single level inheritance, isn't it? Single inheritance, we call it as single inheritance. Then suppose from this B class, if you derive 2 more classes or 3 more classes, C, D and E, C, D and E. I have one base class A, from that I have derived B. So if you ignore this one and consider only these two, it is your single inheritance. Okay, it is your single inheritance. Okay, if you ignore this one and if you consider B and these 3, this is your hierarchical, isn't it? From here to here, this is your what type of inheritance? Hierarchical inheritance. So likewise, if you merge any of these two inheritances, that will become your hybrid inheritance. So this kind of inheritance, it is a hybrid inheritance where you have single inheritance as well as hierarchical inheritance. Single inheritance as well as hierarchical inheritance, these kind of inheritance we call it as hybrid inheritance. Okay, merging single level, multi-level to single and multi-level will become hierarchical. Multi-level to multiple will become hierarchical. Multiple and hierarchical will become hybrid. Likewise, merging any of these two inheritances will become your hybrid inheritance. Ma'am, quickly go to that hybrid inheritance slide. Yes, this is hybrid inheritance. If you see that one, if you ignore that E, F, G, the bottom 3 classes and consider the top 4 classes, that will become your multiple inheritance because you are deriving D from ABC. Okay, single derived class, multiple base classes, deriving D from more than one classes. So that is your multiple inheritance. So the first 4 classes are forming multiple inheritance. And if you omit the above 3 classes, if you ignore the above 3 classes A, B, C, and if you consider D, E, F, G, the bottom 4 classes, then that is your hierarchical inheritance. So combination of these two will become your hybrid inheritance. Okay, combination of these two will become your hybrid inheritance. Quickly we'll see in my next video. I will explain with the help of programs how these inheritances can be implemented. Thank you. एक्सेस हो गया।